Welcome back to the channel, Guardians. Now, while Strand builds are still being discovered, after unlocking the new exotic machine gun on my Hunter, I transferred it to my Titan and decided to do the legendary campaign with it, and oh boy, with the right combination of seasonal perks and Void 3.0 build, we can get an absolutely insane ad clearing build, with the potential to do decent DPS also. To give you an idea of what we are looking at, just watch this clip. Let's break it down, peeps, and there is only one place to start. Deterministic Chaos is the new light machine gun obtainable in the post-campaign quest of Lightfall. With 48 rounds in the mag, each 4 rounds whilst holding down the trigger weakens the target. Holding down the trigger for 16 rounds fires a volatile round. A pretty straightforward exotic, perfect for void builds. This weapon is particularly lethal on Titan Void 3.0 thanks to the controlled demolition aspect. Let's break this down. Volatile explosions pass the volatile effect to other targets if caught in the explosion, and said explosions heal you and your fire team. This allows you to be aggressive in ad-heavy encounters. This also makes the gun broken thanks to the volatile flow perk, which we'll go over in a minute. Pair that with Echo Starvation, which grants Devour on all pickup, and Persistence that extends the effective duration of Devour. You will be effectively unkillable whilst using Deterministic Chaos. And what exotic armor synergizes with LMGs? Actium War Rig will turn Chaos into a bottomless clip, slowly reloading from reserves as you hold down the trigger. And yes, the extended rounds granted to Deterministic Chaos also inherit the weapon's exotic perk. And yes, you may be wondering about ammo economy as it's a heavy weapon, but the seasonal perks from the artifact this season will allow you to have consistent ammo reserves to avoid weapons. Before we break this down though, and also go over the other mods to complement this build, drop a like for that sexy YouTube algorithm if you're enjoying the content, and subscribe. We are so close to 1,000 subscribers, people. So, from our Void 3.0 build, we will remember that the Echo Starvation fragment will grant Devour on all pickup. This, paired with the Volatile Flow seasonal perk, will not only grant Devour on all pickup, it will grant Volatile rounds too, increasing your damage output dramatically. Not to mention the anti-barrier rounds that this will grant, making the gun effectively capable to obliterate barrier champions in high-end content, such as Lost Sectors and Nightfalls. Then we have Bricks from Beyond. This perk, when active, allows your void weapon kills on yellow bars or mini-bosses to have a higher chance of dropping heavy ammo for you and your fire team. Deterministic Chaos, being a void weapon, does exactly that. The gun literally obliterates ads and yellow bars, and makes light work of tanky combatants too, making it easier for heavy to drop. The more difficult the content, the more yellow bars, the more ammo will drop. Finally, and the most crucial perk, brings the DPS factor, and this is part where you don't want to use your abilities, like, at all. Void Weapon Channeling. For a short duration, getting Void kills grants a damage buff that varies depending on how many Void abilities you have charged, including your super. Having all 4 abilities active will grant a 25% damage buff to Deterministic Chaos, which stacks with the weaken effect that the weapon applies too. The build requires not to use abilities at all, just use heavy, constant volatile rounds as long as you are generating orbs, which we will look at just a second, plus the volatile detonations refreshing your health, chaos weakening targets whilst having a 25% damage buff potential, with Devour keeping you alive on kill. Having the Void Authorized mod active will give you some freedom to play around with Void mods. Your primary orb generation will come from Void weapon kills, so Void Siphon is crucial, while slotting heavy finders in your helmet. Having Void reserves on your War Rig helps ammo reserves for Chaos. On your boots, Void Weapon Surge will give you a passive buff whilst using the LMG. Not essential, as this does not stack with the Void Weapon Channeling perk, whilst Void Scavenger will give you extra ammo on heavy pickup. The rest of the mods here are not essential unless you decide to use abilities for one reason or another, and if so, you want to get them back as soon as possible, so tailor those mods to your playstyle. Strand builds on Titans are okay, but this has to be covered as it's got me through the entire legendary campaign on Titan without batting an eyelid. As long as you have Actium War Rig and the LMG unlocked, this is a very easy and potent build to put together. That's it for this video. I have already put over 3,000 PvE kills on this thing in just 2 days. Just take it for a spin in the seasonal activity or a nightfall and become the most potent ad clearer in the team. Leave your thoughts in the comment section. There is so much bloody content to get through and we are just getting warmed up. Still to come, Titan Strand build with Kepri's Horn, and a Firebolt Grenade build on Warlock that is simply incredible. Plus weapon reviews, more builds, you name it. Drop a like for that sexy YouTube algorithm. Blood, sweat and tears go into the making of these videos after all, and don't forget to subscribe if you enjoy the content. This was Plasma Alchemist, your viewership is much appreciated. Until next time.